Do you know what this is? This is one of Mimzie's most favoriteest books ever of all time, and I just love it ever so much. And today I'm going to share it with my babies. I'm so excited. It's called Tops and Bottoms, and I first found it when I was in a children's literature class way back in college, and that was a really long time ago. And I was thinking for some reason this was a Caldecott Award winner. That means that somebody really likes her pictures. And I tell you, they can have the Mimzie Award for pictures. This is just a fun book. Look at that bear. Look at that bear. I love it. And look at the rabbit. Oh, this is a good picture for this, a good book for this time of year, because we've got harvest and stuff going in right before we start hibernating. Anyway, I'm just running my mouth and y'all don't want to hear me talk. Y'all want to read the book. This is a great book. Like I said, Tops and Bottoms. I'm going to have to back up so we can see the whole book in there. Tops and Bottoms. All right, we've got a lot of picture here of the bear on his porch. Once upon a time, there lived a very lazy bear who had lots of money and lots of land. His father had been a hard worker and a smart business bear, and he had given all of his wealth to his son. But all Bear wanted to do was sleep. Well, he's doing a very fine job of sleeping. He is an expert at sleeping. Look at his shoes. My granddaddy used to wear shoes like that. I just love it. But my granddaddy was a hard worker. Nobody gave him any handouts. Aren't these fun book pages? Instead of going this way, the book goes like this. I just love it. Look at all the rabbits. That is a whole passel of rabbits. And they got them a Converse sneaker they're living in. There's old Coke rings for the ladder. Anyway, let me go ahead and read. Not far down the road lived a hare. Here's another word for rabbit. Although Hare was clever, he sometimes got into trouble. Same Hare. Hare, he had once owned land too, but now he had nothing. He had lost a risky bet with a tortoise and had sold all of his debt to Bear to pay off the debt. Not me looking at you, because we know that story. Hare and his family were in very bad shape. The children are so hungry, Father Hare. We must think of something, Mrs. Hare cried one day. So Hare and Mrs. Hare put their heads together and cooked up a plan. Ooh, that sounds a little nefarious. All right, let's see, there's Bear and the Hare hanging out on the porch. There's Mrs. Mama Hare. The next day, Hare hopped down the road to Bear's house. Bear, of course, was asleep. Hello, Bear. Wake up. It's your neighbor Hare, and I have an idea. Bear opened one eye and groaned, or grunted. It says he grunted. We can be business partners, Hare said. All we need in this field right here in front of your house, this field, is all we need. I'll do the hard work of planting and harvesting, and we can split the profits right down the middle. Yes, sir, Bear, we're in this together. I'll work and you sleep. Huh? Said Bear. So what'll it be, Bear? Asked Hare. The top half or the bottom half? It's up to you. Tops or bottoms? Let's see, Bear said with a yawn. I'll take the top half, Hare. Right, top. Hare smiled. It's a done deal, Bear. I can just see them shaking hands. So here's Bear in one of his magnificent sleeping poses. I need to give this artist an extra shout out. I'm gonna look at the end and see who this artist was. He is fabulous, or she. So Bear went back to sleep, and Hare and his family went to work. Hare planted, Mrs. Hare watered, and everyone weeded. That's the yucky part about gardening. Mimzie does not like to weed. Bear slept as the crops grew. When it was time for the harvest, Hare called out, "Wake up, Bear. You get the tops and I get the bottoms." So he's trying to get the bear's attention. He's giving Bear all the tops, and Hare's got all the bottoms. Ooh, is he sneaky? Look at that. Hare and his family dug up the carrots, the radishes, and the beets. Hare plucked off all the tops, tossed them into a pile for Bear, and put the bottoms aside for himself. Well, he did say tops or bottoms. Bear's got the tops, and Hare's got the bottoms. Only thing is, Bear probably not going to want those tops just a whole lot. Look at Bear. He said, very, he is put out, disgruntled. There's your word for the day. Bear is disgruntled because he has been bamboozled, friends. Bamboozled. There's your second word for the day. Bear stared at his pile. But Hare, all the best parts are in your half. You chose the tops, Bear, Hare said. Now, Hare, you've tricked me. You plant this field again, and this season I want the bottoms. Hare agreed. Done deal, Bear. Ooh, Mimzie knows a lot about gardening, and I have sneaky suspicions. So Bear went back to sleep, and Hare and his family went back to work. They planted, watered, and weeded. Planted, watered, and weeded, and snoozles. He is a good snoozler. I have never seen a bear snoozle in so many different ways. Not even Pooh Bear. Bear slept as the crops grew. When it was time for the harvest, Hare called out, Wake up, Bear. You get the bottoms, and I get the tops. He's telling him fair and square. Just exactly what they agreed on. Hare and his family gathered up the lettuce, the broccoli, and the celery. Hare pulled off the bottoms for Bear and put the tops in his own pile. Look at that. There's all the good stuff, all the tops, fair and square. And here's all the bottoms. Nobody wants that, but maybe some grubs. Look at Bear. Oh, we're a little stronger than disgruntled this time. He is put out. I think of a better word. But he is not happy. Bear looked at his pile and scowled. Hare, you have cheated me again. But Bear, Hare said, you wanted the bottoms this time. Bear growled, you plant this field again, Hare. You tricked me twice, and you owe me one season of both tops and bottoms. You're right. Poor old Bear, sighed Hare. It's only fair that you get both tops and bottoms this time. It's a done deal, Bear. Yeah, Bear is lining him out, telling him how the cow ate the cabbage, or how the rabbit should plant the garden. So, we snoozling. It's sleepy time. I love those wingtips. Love those wingtips. So Bear went back to sleep, and Hare and his family went to work. They planted, watered, and weeded, then watered and weeded some more. What do y'all think we're going to have? What do you think is going to happen? Y'all excited? Bear slept, and the crops grew. When it was time for the harvest, Hare called out, Wake up, Bear. This time you get the tops and the bottoms. I love this. Tops and bottoms. I hate licking my fingers on books. At least it's my own book. Look at that Bear. He is going to be upset. There in front of Bear's house lay a high field of corn. Hare and his family yanked up every corn stalk. Hare tugged off the roots at the bottom and the tassels at the top, put them in a pile for Bear. Then he carefully collected the ears of corn in the middle and placed them in his own pile. Bear rubbed his eyes and watched. See, Bear, you get the tops and the bottoms. I get the middles. You see, Bear, it's a done deal. Oh, no. If I was Bear, I would think Hare would be a snacky snack. Just a couple little nibbles, snacks. That's all. Hog hoodwinked. And Bear is not happy. Look at him. He is having a fit. By now, Bear was wide awake. That's it, Hare, he hollered. From now on, I'll plant my own crops, and I'll take the tops, bottoms, and middles. Hare and his family scooped up the corn and hopped down the road toward home. Bear never again slept through a season of planting and harvesting. Hare bought back his land with the profit from the crops, and he and Mrs. Hare opened a vegetable stand. And although Hare and Bear learned to live happily as neighbors, they never became business partners again. Well, yeah, because some of us have to learn the hard way. Oh, isn't that a fun book? I love this book. Tops and Bottoms, adapted and illustrated by Janet Stevens. So Janet Stevens is the one that took somebody else's story and made a new book out of it with the most delicious pictures I've ever seen. Did you like it? I did. I loved it. Just like Mimzie loves you.